homies who relate. Silence on my page, oh yeah, oh my god, he changed. Young life, I can't see back on my, I just need some praise, so I could keep myself in order.
Okay, let me go ahead and put this out here. Ken Nugent law firm did not commit fraud, allegedly. They did not commit fraud, allegedly. Because, yeah. I think y'all are upside down, but it don't matter. Okay, so y'all got y'all refresher, right? Oh, let me give you y'all intro. How rude of me. He got problems, she got problems. Only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? It's time for the story time. So this is a story time of how I had the car for 3 months. I also linked the story time so you could go watch that because it ties into this story. And that's when I got my car. That's when I got my other car that I only had for 3 months. Okay, so picked up the car. As I told y'all before in the last story, I could pick up the car on New Year's Eve. Yes, it's been a while since I told this story, but flow with me. So, picked up the car New Year's Eve, got the car, enjoying it. And at this time, I am going through pure hell. As usual, I have been going through hell, honey, because I had to move. Yeah, my cousin had gave me like 3 weeks to move, so I had to figure out how to move within 3 weeks. I had lent money out to a homeboy, and he was giving me the runaround and not paying me back. And it was just something. Ty was acting up pure D. Oh, like it was just raining down problems. So anyway, got through the car situation, and I had literally had the car for 3 months. And anybody who has bought a car, you know, like, you don't have to pay the car payment right away. They give you like it was 3 months. I don't know what it is now. You might get 2. You might get a month and a half. I don't know. But yeah, so I had just paid the first car payment, y'all. Just paid the first car payment after going through all of that. And I am on my way to work. I am sitting at a red light, and I am literally sitting there. I promise you, y'all, I was sitting there and I'm at the red light, and I am thanking God, because it was like, excuse me, oh, I got through this storm. We made it through. Oh, I got a car. I'm legal now. Everything is straight, right? Am I not looking at the camera? Let me flip y'all, because something means something. I don't know. Yeah, here we go. That's better. So, literally, like, excited. I'm ecstatic. I'm just in awe because I made it through. Because it's like, ooh, I made it through something else. Ooh, I finally. Now you adjusted. Girl. All from being lazy. Ooh, I made it through. Finally, we got through this chapter. We got through these storms. Yeah, we moved in. Like, literally, I had moved into my place because, like I said, I had 3 weeks to move. So I had spent most of my income tax basically on my getting the Altima, and paying up bills, because literally that was the plan that my cousin came up with. She was like, we come in, we move in together, we pay off our bills, and then when we move out, we all move into a house, right? So the end plan ended up changing for her because she ended up falling in love or whatever. So it was like, oh, okay. So I had 3 weeks. Means I had 3 weeks. To get the out, basically. So I had to. So literally, I went to my boss. I was still working at the neurology practice, so I went to the hair doctor. I didn't even go. Did we have a manager at this time? I don't even think we had a manager at this time because we went through so many of them. Baby, listen. So, yes, I went to the hair doctor and I was like, I think at the time I'd been working for them for over a year. And I went to him and I was like, this is what's going on. I have 3 weeks to find me a place. I'm the breadwinner of my family, basically for me and my son, and I need you to trust me. I need you to trust the fact that I'm going to come into work, but I need you to pay me early because I need to put down my deposit. And he said, oh, okay, I trust you. Literally, he was like, oh, okay, I trust you. Pay me early before time. And I showed up to work, which was how I was able to put my deposit down for my apartment. So we moved into the apartment. Did we move? No. The day that we were supposed to move into the apartment, they was like, oh, the apartment's not ready because maybe there was a miscommunication and we misunderstood that we didn't know you wanted to move in on this date. So luckily my cousin still had her old place and she wasn't completely moving out until that Monday, and that's when my place was gonna be ready. So that Monday, my place was ready on that Monday. We ended up moving in, and when we moved in, honey, because yeah, I think was the lights still on? Yes, the lights were still on, but there was like no cable or nothing in there. So, which was fine because we had a DVD player, so we would watch the DVD player, but there was no furniture, no nothing. We were sleeping on the floor, which I didn't have a problem because, baby, I done been through it. So, when you start from the bottom and earn it, it feel better when you earn it, and ain't nobody can take credit for your stuff. So, we ended up spending like the weekend there. I tried to like stay out of her place a lot more. Like we was literally like riding around with a lot of stuff because I was literally distraught and I was over it. So we finally get able to move in. Girl, baby, when we moved in, we putting stuff like out of the car. We taking stuff. Well, no. The first time, once I went in to finalize the paper, they gave me the key. Went to the door with the key, and the key didn't work. And they getting ready to close because, mind you, I get off at 3. It takes me an hour to get home. It's 4. They office closed at 5. They finalizing paperwork. That took like 30 minutes. So when I go to my door to open it, key doesn't work. Had to hustle back up to the office, and I was like, key doesn't work. She comes. She tries the key that they gave me. I guess she didn't believe. I think she thought I was lying. She was like, oh. So she tried another key. That key worked. She was like, oh, okay. You can go ahead and I can keep this key, and then tomorrow we'll just have copies made, or you can make a copy. I'll make a copy because my son was gonna need a key, but he gonna have to wait. Yeah. So anyway, we end up starting to move in. We ended up starting to move in the stuff out of the car. And then also starting to move the stuff out of my cousin's place, which was in the same complex right around the corner, which was kind of perfect in looking back on it, because if we were in a different complex, it probably would have been more work. But my son was determined to stay in the same complex. He wanted to go to the same school. So it's whatever, because I was like, we can stay on this side of town or we can move back to the side of the town that side of town that we moved from, and he wanted to stay on the side of town that we are now because he was in high school. So it was his decision, because regardless of where we are, baby, I'm gonna drive to work. You're in high school, and that's a huge portion of people's lives, like kids' lives. High school is major. So it was his decision on to decide on which high school he wanted to go to. So he decided to stay to the one he was at. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So move all the stuff in. We moving the stuff in from the car, and I think the day before or lunchtime. I think it was the day before. We had went to Firehouse, and I still had the cup. And so I had the cup in the car, and then when we moved in, I put the cup in the kitchen, on the kitchen counter, and went back to move stuff back in to the car, right? And when I came back into the kitchen to get the cup, baby, why was that whole cup filled with roaches? I was like, Ty, look at this. He was like, what? So I called the office, and I was like, my whole cup that I just placed down, and we're just moving in here. We haven't been in here a good 10 minutes, and this cup is infested with roaches. Care to explain? Now I know y'all like, girl, you did a walkthrough. I did a walkthrough. No roaches in sight. No roaches in sight. Mind you, living with my cousin, no roaches in sight. So it's like, and we're in a different section of the complex. My cousin was in a townhouse. Yeah, she was in a townhouse section. I was in the apartment section, but I had a 2-bedroom. My cousin had a 3-bedroom townhouse. I had a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. Who was in here before? And the simple fact that y'all knew, you can't sit here and tell me y'all didn't see them. But then again, maybe y'all didn't, because I didn't see them when I did the walkthrough. So lo and behold, I'm sitting here going, I can't put nothing in this kitchen, because there ain't no way, baby, I'm about to be living with these people. And with these, when I tell you, like, it was a whole family, and they attacked that they attacked that cup like they had never seen a cup before. I'm like, what the y'all, it was so bad. When I ran the dishwasher, it was roaches in the water in the dishwasher. I'm like, who was in here? My other cousin from my other side of the family, like, because she bought a vacuum. She had bought a vacuum for my, like, housewarming gift. And so when she came out, I was like, girl, because it was like type of celebration type situation. She was like, girl, you want me to bring anything else from Walmart? Like, you want to bring some food or something? And I was like, girl, no, bring some roach spray. Bring some roach spray. She bought a big, like that big jug you would use like for your outside garden type situation. I was like, bring that. And I went to the office, and I was like, whenever they come spray, what days they come spray? She was like, oh, they come every week on Wednesday. Tell him to hit this apartment, hit the kitchen every Wednesday, please. So it took like a good, I would say, month. I didn't even put no food in my kitchen for a good month when I moved in that apartment. So after that, things were kind of calming down or whatever, right? And I'm sitting at the red light, and I'm basically just giving thanks because I made it through everything. We are in a place, Ty in his own room. I'm in my own room. I'm in my own space. Because in my cousin townhouse, we were sharing a room. Yeah. So I got my own bathroom. I can shower as much as I want because when you live with people, regardless, I don't care. Well, I won't say this for everybody because I see some people and it works for other people. Yeah. But when you live with people, like, they watch the bills, they watch the lights, they watch the water, they watch everything you do, they watch everything you buy, they watch the food, they watch everything. I don't know why, they just watch it. Anyway, so literally I was just, like I said before, I was just giving thanks, right? So it was raining and we're sitting at the red light before we go over the overpass. Sitting there, thanking God, just paid my first car payment on the car, made it through the stolen situation, didn't get put in jail, didn't get arrested, didn't get pulled over, because that was months from when I found out till when it was finally finalized. And lo and behold, I hear this screeching sound. Like, you know how you hear when tires screeching, like when somebody is trying to stop, you hear that like you hear it. So I hear the screeching, and I'm looking around like, God damn, somebody about to get hit. Lo and behold, my ass get hit. The first thing I do is jump out of my car. I have put my car in notification. First thing I do is jump out of my car, right? So, of course, I put the car in park, jump out, and the person who hit me, you hit me so hard that I hit the car in front of me. Well, not really hit, more like tapped, to be honest, because they were fine. Like, there was no damage, visible damage to their car. So I got out and I'm looking at the person who hit me. You pulled around the side of me and you kept going to the point where you almost caused another accident on the overpass, and then you are laying cat-a-corner over both lanes. You jump out of the truck and walk out, and I can see you. Like, I'm seeing you. It's only one person in the truck. Once you got cat-a-corner over the overpass, like, you jump out of the truck because you almost caused the accident over on the overpass. You jump out and you walk away. So once I jumped out of my car, I went to the car in front of me and I was like, "Are you okay?" And so she was like, "Yeah." She had down her window. She was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "They hit me, so them hitting me, I hit you." And so she was like, "Oh," she was like, "Well, these people like just stopped all of a sudden." And I was like, "It's a red light." And so she was like, "Yeah, I know." She was like, "But they just stopped all of a sudden." And I was like, "Yeah, but we was just sitting here." She was like, "Yeah, you're right." So I called 911. And so she was like, "You gonna call 911?" Or I said, "No, I'm gonna go ahead and call them." So I called 911 and I'm telling the lady, and I was like, I'm on such and such road right above I'm at right ahead of the overpass, and I just got hit in the back, and I hit another car from being hit in the back. And I said, but the person who hit me, their truck is over the overpass. It was a black truck, is on the overpass. And I said, and the person jumped out, and he's in all black. He got on a black jacket, he got on black jeans, and he got on a black cap. He got on a black baseball cap. And so she was like, "Ma'am, are you following the person?" I said, "No, I can see them." She was like, "Oh, okay." She was like, "Well, emergency services, they are all on the way." So I'm taking pictures for my insurance, because I'm like, bah, this is not happening. So after I got through taking pictures, I can hear like the police coming. I was like, I need to call my job, which I'm still at the neurology practice, right? So at this time we had a manager. So called. Did I call her or text her? I think I called her, if I'm not mistaken. It was either called or text. I have to look back in my phone because I think I still got the messages. But I either called or texted to let her know, like, because I was opening the building. And so I was like, I'm not going to be able to open because I just got in a car accident, so I won't be there. And so basically she was like, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. You just take care of yourself. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we're sitting, like, so I'm still talking to the girls. And I was like, I'm making sure you're okay. She was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So went and sat back in my car when police and EMS showed. So the police came and then he started asking me questions. So I told him, I was like, well, I was just sitting here and he hit me in the back. And I was like, and once he hit me in the back, I went to her. I said, because he hit me so hard, it made me hit her in the back. And I was like, and I went to make sure she was okay. And then I watched him drive over the overpass and then jump out of the truck and leave. Because he left. He got out of the truck and left. Walked away. Left. So he was talking to the other policeman per radio, and basically he was like, what you got over there? And he was like, is it DUI? He was like, I think it's a DUI. I think it's a drunk driver. He's like, I'm not sure. He was like, but there's nothing in here. Like, there's nobody in here. What you got over there? And he was like, well, there's no injuries or nothing or anything. He was like, he just basically is a hit and run. So, he was like, you want me to call an ambulance or anything? Because at the time I started slurring, like my speech was slurring. I was like, no, I should be fine. He was like, you sure? He was like, because you are slurring your speech. And so he was like, are you able to move your car? Because he was like, we can get it towed, but they're gonna charge you before they charge the insurance company. So I was like, oh, I don't know. Let me see. So the girl who I hit, she, her car wasn't cranked or something like that. But once they got her car cranked, she drove off. Like, literally, there was nothing on her car. Like a few scratches on her back bumper was literally all that was wrong with her car. Me, on the other hand, here's my car. Now, my car, I literally lived up the street. Not even, it might have been 2 miles. I was 2 miles, literally, from my apartment. So he was like, you sure you don't want me to call an ambulance because you are slurring your speech? And he was like, you probably don't even realize it because my airbags didn't deploy. So I honestly didn't think it was as bad as it looks. And I was like, no, I'm fine. He was like, I really think like your face hit the steering wheel. He's like, because your speech is slurring. I was like, I'm not slurring my speech. And he's like, you're slurring your speech. And I was like, no, I'm fine. I should have took my ass and let them evaluate me. But no, I didn't. I got back in my car and I was like, he was like, you want to move it or have them tow it? And I was like, no. I'm just drive back home because I was literally right up the street. So turned around, drove my car, yes, with it looking like that, drove my car to my apartment and parked it. Called my insurance company and reported the accident to tell them everything what happened, tell them everything what went on, etc. By even before lunchtime, the girls who I work with, they were texting me, they were calling me to make sure I was okay. And by the time, you know what I'm saying, like, and then of course I had posted on Facebook, so people were texting and calling because I had posted my car. So I took some pain medicine because, of course, after the adrenaline died down, my body was in pain. So I took some pain meds, went to sleep, and woke up in time enough for Ty to come home. Ty come home, of course, outside. He saw my car, and he saw the back of it. And he came in, and he's like, Mom, you okay? Mom, you okay? What happened? And so, I told him what happened, and it is what it is. So even like the next morning, I didn't go to work because I still had this real bad headache. And so I was like, I'm still not feeling well. I'll come in. Can I have another day? Of course, it was granted, and I'll come in, tomorrow. So I'm talking to the insurance company, and they was like, you need to get it to the collision center, which wasn't far from me, thank God, because at the time I had Progressive Insurance, so the collision center wasn't far from me. So she was like, you need to take it to the collision center and let them look at the car, and we can decide on what to do and what to go, where to go from there. And so I was like, well, what about like a rental car, because I still need to get back and forth to work, like how does that come into play? And so she was like, well, looking at your policy, you don't have rental car insurance. It's not included, so you would have to pay for a rental car out of your pocket. Now, mind you, as I was just stating, I just got to the point, and I was thinking, God, like, all these storms was over. I had like a nice little amount of money in my bank account, and we got a car, we're clear, we got a place, we straight. And just like that, I need to go get a rental car. So I had my cousin, one of my male cousins, I had my cousin drive me to Hertz. So Hertz ended up being able to rent a car for me per debit card. I wish I knew about Avis before, but I only knew about Hertz. So Hertz, I ended up getting the rental car for like a week, because in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, okay, I'm only gonna need the car for a week, like all this stuff's gonna be worked out, etc. Yada yada yada, right? So go to Hertz, and to rent the car for a week, it was like $1,100, covering insurance, all that other stuff. Like, it was literally $1,100, and I was like, so dude was like, oh, so you was speeding? And I was like, speeding? No, I was sitting at a red light and somebody hit me in the back. He was like, oh wow, yeah. So I got a car because I still need to get to work. So when I got to work, the head doctor was basically talking to me, because I was asking him like symptoms, because I was like, my speech is slurring, like sometimes it's hard for me to compute my sentences, like, is that like whiplash or is that a concussion? He was like, won't you let me evaluate you, or won't you let me send you to another neurologist so you can get evaluated and we can get this figured out. This one, I was like, nah, like who I'm gonna sue, what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna even go about this, because the other person, they, according to my insurance company, they didn't have no insurance. So he was like, don't you have non-insured insurance on your car? And I was like, I think so. And he was like, me not listening. When I tell you, looking back, I was like, girl, you put yourself in worse situations than what you have to, because if you would have just let him evaluate, or let another doctor evaluate you, yeah, anyway. So, as time goes on, like my homeboy is calling me and he's asking information and trying to get clarity, and I'm like, I'm at work, I'm trying to handle this stuff. The collision center is calling me, trying to get clarity and trying to figure out like how you gonna get the car where you need to be and all this other stuff. So finally, I was like, I ain't even got nobody to drop me off at the collision center. But me being a country girl, I was like, it's not that far, I can walk home. We drove to the collision center. Drove to the collision center and pulled up to start the process for them to start processing my car, because me in my mind thinking, oh, they gonna fix my shit, right? They gonna fix my car. I just got it. I just paid the first car payment on it. They gonna fix my car. We went outside. The dude, was it a dude? No, it was a woman. We went outside. She did the walk around. When she got to the back of my car, she turned around and looked at me and she said, ma'am, are you okay? Like, are you okay? I said, yeah. She said, I gotta go get my manager. Girl, why you gotta go get your manager? Now, mind you, my homeboy, a day prior, maybe even 2 days prior, he on the phone, he was like, looking at the pictures, I really believe they're gonna total your car. And I'm like, listen, bro, I don't need you to say that, because I can't afford to try to find another car. I can't do it. So she walk in, go get her manager, which is a dude. He come back out. He starts walking around the car. Once he got to the back, just like she did, he stopped. He turned around. He put his hand on my shoulder. He said, are you okay? Are you sure you okay? You sure? He was like, you sure you okay? Like, you don't need to go to the doctor. You don't need to go to the hospital. Like, did you let them check you out? And I said, no. He said, ma'am, when he hit you in the impact, it literally shifted your car. This side of the car, the frame is bent. It shifted the car completely. He said, they're gonna total this car. He said, your whole frame is bent, ma'am. He's like, I just want to prepare you. They're probably not going to fix the car. We go inside. I signed some paperwork. And dude said, do you have somebody to take you home? And I said, no, I don't. I'm just gonna walk. And he said, I can get somebody to take you home. And I said, no, I'm just gonna walk. Lo and behold, I'm walking because I need time to think, because I done heard total my car twice, and I'm like, I don't have any money to get another car. I just spent the money that I had to have my little boost on a rental, and I can't drive the rental and my car at the time. Did we have Lyft and Uber? I don't even think it was Lyft and Uber. And if it was Lyft and Uber, I don't even think I knew anything about Lyft and Uber. I ain't even gonna front. Yeah, I ain't gonna front. I don't think it was. Even if it was, I ain't know nothing about it, because I didn't live for Uber, or I probably couldn't even afford the motherfucker. I probably couldn't afford it. So I was like, okay, yeah. So I walked home, and guess what? On the way of me walking home, guess what happened? It started to rain. But lo and behold, I always have an umbrella in my purse, because I have like the little miniature one that's always in my purse, just in case it starts raining. So I'm walking in the rain. By the time I got home, of course, it's hours later, literally, because you're walking. So the collision center was maybe 5 miles from my apartment, but 5 miles was literally 2 to 3 hours for me. And I'm walking slower because you've already told me they're going to total my car. So I get home and I'm walking in. My kid is excited. Hey, Mom. He's excited to see me, and I'm trying to put on this front. The rental car is outside. I still have the rental car at this point, but knowing that I'm going to have to turn that in sooner or later, because I don't have another $1,100 to last for next week, right? So time I walked through the door, my homeboy, calling me, he was like, "What you doing?" And I was like, "Just walking through the door." And he was like, "Where you been?" And I was like, "Walking from the collision center." So he cussed me out because he was like,
Girl, why didn't you tell somebody? So somebody could have brought you home or somebody could have let you know.
was like, "Well, truth be told, they offered me a ride home, but I'm distraught because he told me they might total my car." And of course,
I told you.
yes, you told me. But don't nobody want to hear that shit. Don't nobody want to hear it. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. And I was like, so I needed time to clear my head and think, because I need to figure out what to do. So the next day, while I still have the rental car, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get another car, right? So I called the same people that my car is financed through. I called them, and I called the man who I was working with, who was like the big time boss of accounting, basically. And I called him, and I was like, listen, I know you just got me in this car, but someone hit me in the back. He left the scene, and they're probably gonna total my car. And he said, "Oh man." And I said, "Right." And he said, "Can I guess?" He's like, and I'm not even trying to be funny. He said, "Can I guess the race of the person who hit you?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And he was like, "They were Mexican, wasn't it?" And I was like, "Yeah, how do you know?" He said, "This happened to my brother-in-law. This has happened to 3 other people." Now, mind you, I get that we have immigrants, and immigrants are trying to come up for a better life. And I ain't even knocking that, because I'm not even knocking the immigrant. I'm knocking the company, and we gonna get there. But the damage that you leave behind doing that act really jacks people up. So basically I was like, "Yep." And he was like, "Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do." He was like, "You're gonna have to come with a down payment in order to be put into another car." He was like, "There's nothing I can," he's like, "because if they total out that car, only thing that we're gonna do is write it off." And I was like, okay. So I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you." He was like, "Good luck." He's like, "I apologize." He's like, "But he's like, if you got $1,000, come see me." I ain't got $1,000. I just spent $1,000, the last $1,000 I had on the rental car. So I'm like, okay, now what? So my homegirl, Erica told me about Drive Time. And Drive Time, of course, was where you could make your down payment. So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I ended up going through Drive Time basically to get me another car. Wasn't happy about it because of the payment schedule, but I needed a car. Either way, that's neither here nor there. So went through Drive Time to get my car. After processing, maybe after the inspector went and looked at my car. Basically they come in and was like, "Yeah, we're gonna total it out." The whole car shifted. All the frame on my passenger side was completely shifted and bent. There was no way that they were gonna. It was gonna be more money to fix it than it was worth. So basically, they totaled it out. So they totaled it out, and it was like 11 something. My car was actually 11 grand, and with finance charges, I think it was 13 something. But my finance company, as he stated, he was like, "Angie, we're just gonna write it off and not even worry about the 2 grand." So I didn't owe them nothing. So Yeah. Yay. So lo and behold, I'm chilling, minding my business, and my business is minding me, and I'm watching TV, and I see a commercial. And I was like, hold up, wait a minute. You got money for them little scratches on my car. You went to Ken Nugent and got money for scratches on the back of your car. Because mind you, her lawyers was calling me, and I was like, I don't even know why y'all are calling me. Like, she got scratches. She drove off. What are you calling me for? Oh, you need to have your lawyer call us because you hit my client in the back. What? And I was like, did you reach out to my insurance company? Did you see my car? Did you see the pictures? Your car? What? Y'all, this is the front of my car from hitting her car. I'm saying this is crazy. So I would say like a month later, I get a letter from a landscaping company. So the landscaping company was filing a claim basically because they was filing a claim for the truck that was left in the middle of the overpass, right? So I called Progressive and I was like, I just got a letter from this landscaping company basically because y'all said there was no insurance on the truck. And I was like, but this landscaping company reached out to me. Their insurance company reached out to me. And so she said, oh, that's interesting. So they didn't know anything about it. So she was like, well, we'll file a claim with them. So they filed the claim. They came back with denying the claim because the owner of the landscaping company reported the truck as stolen. Said it was a Latino male and an African American male jumped in the truck because their employee left the truck running with the door open and the keys in it. They jumped in and stole the truck. So they're not responsible for my car because the truck was stolen. I said, you lying mother. You was paying that immigrant under the table to work at your company. You gave them the truck to let them get back and forth to work. He wrecked it. He jumped out because he was undocumented and didn't want to be held responsible. So you lied. Basically, you lied. So you didn't have to be held accountable. So everybody got off, got paid, except me. Yep. So while I am at Nissan, because I had gotten a maximum from drive time. So while I am at Nissan, and this lady, complete stranger, we're just sitting there talking because we're waiting because I went and got my car, inspected and was getting an oil change. I do that when I get a car, period. Like, I like to know that I did certain things. So we're sitting there talking, and she was telling me like the stuff that she was going through. So I told her my story of how I was sitting at the red light and I got hit and I just got the car and I just made my first car payment and the car was totaled out, and the other company was basically said like their truck was stolen, so they're not liable, so I had to pay everything out of pocket. And she was like, and I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, it was a Mexican. And I said it aloud. Now, mind you, the girls at the front desk, at the cash out desk, all of them were of Hispanic, Latino descent. Baby, I don't care about you. And they all giving me a look. Baby, I don't care about you. baby, I'm all for make your money, but make your money legally. You made situations horrible for me, whether you want to admit it or not. This situation was horrible for me. The lady at the table was like, girl, you win. Let me stop complaining about my situation because you win, to the point where she was like, this ain't much, but let me buy you lunch today. She slid a $20 to me. And I was like, yeah, it's that bad. So yeah, that's the story time of me having my car for only 3 months. Yeah. So as I said at the beginning of the story, let me make sure I put this at the beginning too. Ken Nugent did not commit fraud that I know of. He didn't commit fraud. The landscaping company did, allegedly. Because you told them people that your truck was stolen. Your truck wasn't stolen. You was paying an undocumented immigrant under the table to work at your company. Literally. And he got into an accident. And it was a man, yes, because I saw him. I saw him when he got out the truck. I saw him when he was driving after he hit my stuff and went around after he hit me and stopped in the middle of the overpass. And I saw him walk away. You not turned around to make sure we was okay. Not, oh my God, let me stand here and take accountability. Nothing. You walked away. You didn't care if somebody was hurt. You didn't care what happened. You walked away. So the landscaping company, I hope every bad thing that could have happened to your company happened because you lied and you didn't care, because you didn't want to take accountability. This was pre-COVID. And Kim Nugent, I don't even know how that girl got a check because nothing was wrong with her car. And I took pictures of it. I wish I could find it. And I took pictures of her car because I was like, she didn't have nothing on her car but like a couple of scratches on her bumper. She drove away. There was nothing wrong with your car. What did you need a check for? Nothing was wrong with you. I was sandwiched. But yep, that's my story time of Ken Nugent, the fraud, and the immigrant. I only had the car for 3 months, honey. I only had the car for 3 months. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.